Hi, it's Peggy from the Pearl Forest, and today we are going to go visit our Avery Laser rotary card package pieces again. This time we're using this strip that you peel off, and it's the perfect size for a belly band. And there was these two pieces, one at each end or side, whichever it was. And so I have a number of these to make belly bands out of. I've already done a little bit of covering. I've covered some with napkin of different kinds. We can add to these. This one, I'll show you how I did those in just a minute. I added some more of those. I don't know if this is all of the colors. Two of them, now slightly different. So see, there's three markers, colors, and they're slightly different. That's what these are here as well. And some of them I made more of a scribbly overline to get some texture, and some I put in more than one of the pens. And those I tried out are these furniture touch-up repair kit. And I haven't tried the crayons yet, but this was the markers. And I find that they're very similar to just a felt tip marker, so I'm not sure how they are different. But I tried them out and made these ones. So here's more napkins. These are not done. And here's some napkins. So let's set them aside. These are not done. And this is a page I used to put some paint on some of these and kind of made myself some paper to use later. So I made some blue paint. Here's the marker. I made some red paint, and some of it was paler, almost pink. Then I've done some more on napkin. This is a hydrangea, I think. So I just put the glue onto the cardstocky pieces. Oops. And then laid them down and smoothed them out onto the napkin. And then you just cut around like this. And I don't know that I'll take the time to cut them all out. Whoops. It's hard sometimes to get right next to it without shaving some of the card off. These are quite narrow for a belly band, and they're fine, but you can also add to them and make them wider, which we're going to do on some of them. So here's one with the hydrangeas, and we have two more here, one of which I put over to where you have the blue line on it as well. And then the rest of them I stayed on the flowers. So we'll cut those out later. Here's my paper where I was doing the marker, and I'll make use of these papers for something else. Here's another kind of napkin. And let's cut these two over here, because they have some pretty flower parts showing. We might make one of those up at this time. The rest I'll make off camera. So set those over there. I tried to get a variety. Some we need for our red, white, and blue journals we're working on, but I also have those other 5 journals that are coming up as well. Plus, it's just good to have some pre-made things available for whenever you need them. So you just simply cut around. I hope you guys are having a great day. I I have a little bit of overcast, but it's pretty nice outside. It's not really raining at the moment. So there's that one. So you can get quite a variety of looks with the napkins, and then you can add a focal point, or like we're going to do on some of them, you can add a additional piece that comes out. You could even put lace on the edges. And then to put them in the journal, you would just put glue at each end, and then you can slip something under it and it holds it on. So here's this one. Okay. Here's just a piece of paper. Now these I glued up with watered glue, and they weren't quite long enough, so I collaged additional pieces on them. And we'll see how they look. These are sort of my computer, they're computer game themed napkins. But I have some computer journals that we'll eventually get to that these will be the main place these will go. So there's with some collage. Whoops, we'll put that out here. This one has a little bit of a different color added, and these are just fabric kind of swatches, so to speak, but in a catalog. So like little samples of what the fabric would look like. And that's how I did them. And I did them on this dollar store cutting mat, which I use for painting and gluing and all kinds of things like that. I don't usually cut on them, but you could. So there's those, and we'll just put these over there for later. Clean up our area a little bit. So we have all these started, and we have these not started. Now I've pulled out some papers that we can use with them as well. Plus I'll later be doing some collage. These are some smaller ones. Some of these are more pinky, so they won't go in our red, white, and blue, but they're from the Baraka pages. Some of them are more red. They also will go on our ephemera. You know, if you have, I'll just pick something. What do I got handy? Well, this is already kind of decorated, but if you have something that needs something else, you can, you know, add them on as an image. Could be a pocket or whatever. So I'm going to set those aside. This is the name here, Baraka pages. But let's do some of the pink ones that we'll use for something else. And that's kind of pink. We'll keep the redder ones for the red, white, and blue. They're called Baraka pages, and I'm wondering if these are actually full pages, but were shrunk down onto the page, you know, put all of them on the page. So we'll do a pink one with this. I'll put them there. And then we have these pages. Let's just look through them quick. I've collected a bunch of the red, white, and blue so I could use for things. This one I know is Rachel and Bella. These were the boho, Wild Rose boho, I think. And these ones here are Heron Lake prints, red, white, and blue. And there's a lot of flowers in there, digital. And they also had some like this. So let's see. Which one of these goes nicely with something here. Let's take this one. These aside. This looks pretty with this red. So what I was thinking is we went this way, we'd be conserving our paper. It would not go all the way to the edge, but that isn't necessarily a problem. So what if we made it about this big? And I think a torn edge would be kind of nice. So just tear this down. Tear this down. Gives it a little more interest. Now it's not as sturdy, you know, to slip something under, but this is sturdy. You could always back this with cardstock if you felt you needed more strength, and I could do that later if I find that it's just not strong enough. Okay, I'm going to sort of curve that and then do the bottom and sort of curve that. Gives it more of a finished look to the end, especially since it's shorter. Looks more intentional. Okay, now, let's see, that's gonna get gluey quickly, so I think I'm gonna go, oops, with this. Then I could move it to the side. Get our glue stick. I hope you're finding my videos interesting and useful for your journals, to give you some ideas. Some ideas I get from a variety of places, and some I just come up with on my own for whatever I have on hand. So see, now this makes it quite a bit wider, almost 3 times the width to go in a journal. And that's pretty as it is, but let's see if we have something that would be pretty to put on it. I have this little basket of small things. What I'm thinking about is there's some of those Fussy Cut strips with flowers. That's not exactly the one I was thinking of, but I was thinking like this one. So see, that would be really pretty on there like that. Let's do that one. I need to find my ink buried back here in the glue and the paint bottles. My goal is to make 5 of these at least, with the red, white, and blue, and then some other ones as well. But since we're doing the 5 main red, white, and blue journals right now, we do, I'm glad I called them journals. For some reason in my head, I keep coming out albums. We do have the big one that we're also going to be doing, but not at this time. That'll take a while to get enough ephemera to do that one. So we'll use some of the stuff we make now to put in there, and some stuff we'll have to make new. it'll just benefit from the leftovers. And maybe that's what it'll do, is benefit from leftovers from several sets of red, white, and blue journals until I get enough. Okay, I think that's nice. It sets it off. And then let's just go around this as well. Then it kind of matches that more. It just kind of gives it an edge definition. We could have done that with the red strip, but we did not, so that's not an option. So this part that sticks up will be the main part where it's glued onto the page. And then this will hold one of those large journal cards, or several, or a big envelope, or something. Greeting card, postcard, something good sized. Okay. All right. Does this have a way in which it goes? Not really. So there we have a nice belly band. And you could, whatever you're putting it in, you could add some words or a little something else. Let's see, do we want anything like that? We have little ones. Can't get my fingers on them though, because they're so little. Let's see. I think this would be fun on a belly band. So would this bow. All right, where did you go, little words? That might be fun. Maybe that would be good with that. Do have little stars. We have this circle. Where did the words go? There's justice. It's not really what I'm looking for though. There was one in here that said, I think, glory. We do have this butterfly, half a one. It does look kind of empty without something. Here's just a number. Well, I kind of like these. Let's just put these on. Oops, the lid is off, Peggy. Sometimes I try to glue with the lid still on, and now I try to take it off when the lid is off. Kind of want this antenna to be separated. That looks a little better. Yeah, these are not holding up as well. The foam is breaking down. But currently it's functioning. I don't think they hold up as long as the more rigid, I'm not sure what they're made out of. They all have the Velcro to hold them together, and this is rounded and it's flat. But I couldn't find any of that kind. Let's see, how does this go? I think like that. Yeah, I think that does add something to it. That's a nice one. This needs a little extra glue right there. So we'll put this to the side, and let's see what else would make. We've used this paper. No, does this, maybe this blue one will go with the blue. And this one has more flowers on this side. We can do another one where we just add the paper. Later we'll use these other pieces of paper for some collage masterboards that we can turn into tags and pockets and tucks and journal cards and whatever we want or need them for. So I just printed out a bunch of them last night, so I would have them for today. Once again, we're going to go across the end and sort of round it a little bit. Round this end. Okay, kind of like it that direction. Let's put this painted blue one on. Again, we'll stick it up a little bit and stick it down a little bit and just kind of run it through the middle. And I kind of like the paint, it's almost like finger paint sort of style, because it gives it extra texture and such. And they're not high quality paints, but I really think they make nice painted papers because you can do this kind of thing. It almost feels a little chalky. And these are just the dollar store praying washable paints. You get 8 ounces for $1.25. And I just recently picked up the red, white, and blue, as well as some other things. I did get some, it's just blue, but it's metallic. I thought that would be fun to try as well. Okay, so I kind of thinking this would be nice on here, but just putting it up a little bit so we could put this cup on there and maybe have like this number like that. It feels a little wide. It's wider than the other one. Thinking, I like those, but I'm thinking I want this a little narrower. So we'll just tear the sides down a little bit. Need to round that again. Need to sweep my floor. Okay. Yeah, I think I like that better. You do want whatever you're putting under it to be able to see it and enjoy that too. I'm not sure that I like the number. I wonder if there's a word instead, because it's good in 3s. So we have our glass of beverage, which I'm not sure what that is because it looks red, but it's got a slice of orange. We have these banner ones. They have little bows, but they're not in the same color family. Oh, speaking of family, there we go. Let's use family. Okay, so let's put family on first. So if the straw goes over it a little bit, that's okay, as long as we can still read it. So put this, say, here, and oops, put family out to the side. Would have been better if I'd put it on straight, but nope, it's there. Okay, and I didn't distress around these, but I think I still will around the outside because they do have a sort of a distressed edge. So we want the straw touching, but not on the letters. Okay, I think that looks nice. I wanted my journals to be an eclectic, more, you know, junk journal-y look where it's eclectic from a lot of different places. That's why I have a lot of different digitals plus found materials and even mixing the digitals together, because I think that it adds more of a junk journal feel. So there we go. There's another one. Now let's see, we need 3 more red, white, and blue. We did have the hydrangea. Where is that one? Pinks, browns. Hydrangea, where are you? Here you are. So we have this blue one. And let's do one of each of these again. So I'll do those 3. Although actually, well, we could do these, but I also was gonna just collage on something. I think this though looks nice on here. We could just do a skinny one or have barely anything behind. Let's just do a barely anything behind. What would look good? How wide are these? Well, they're definitely barely. What if we tear just slightly off the blue to get a little bit of the red? And I printed this sheet twice because I was the only one that was more, I think it was this one I printed, more solid colored papers, what I thought would be useful for the collage and for these. Okay. This one I'll have to kind of weave in and out to get any red. We get a little bit anyway. Sometimes we have to kind of fold them to get in there to tear. More of a rolling than a folding because we don't want to bend it. So that gets a little bit of red around the edges. And rough up this end. And rough up this end. Gives us a little bit of red, white, and blue off the edges. I think that will be good, even though it's kind of a pinky red. It still works. What would be good under this one? That's too similar. Needs to be something that's not too busy. Although I say that and then I say, how about this one? I kind of like that. So let's see, we need to make it big enough this time. Maybe about like this. This is the one that was from Rach and Bella's. I don't remember which kit offhand. I think the theme was blue, but it was very patchworky. And this is really the only blue one that I thought was usable in there for this project. For other projects, there's great stuff. Just can't remember offhand what the name of the kit was. But it is Rach and Bella Crafts. And it's very pretty. Okay. To deal with my floor problem, you guys are probably much better at getting your stuff into something, but it just doesn't work for me. I just need to have less stuff in here so that I can just easily sweep up my floor. But right now, I can't easily sweep up my floor. Okay, so I'm feeling like I need something in this big white space. Wonder if the other one of these I like better. I think there were 2 hydrangeas, weren't there? A lot of fall ones here. Whoops. Some pink ones and game. Might be the only one. Okay, well that's pretty. Let's see if we can find something that fits nice. Could just do a little bow and something else down here. Maybe just something subtle like that, and then needs 3 though. Distress around the edges. We have this hot air balloon. Something little. No, that's not little. That's really pretty. I wonder if we put this down here and put the star up there, kind of over the heavy green part. Or we put this up there because it will cover more of that white part. And can still put the star kind of in the middle and the bow down there. That looks good. We'll hook these together. What could we put under that one? This is a very bold blue. We also can cover these too. Well, we can collage some of those also, but let's just make another real blue one. Okay, tear this one down. When you layer, you lose, you know, part of whatever gets hidden underneath, and that always kind of bothers me a little bit because I don't like to see any of it get hidden. But at the same time, layering really does make things look better. So it's worth doing. Let's see, I think this goes this way. So no, they're not exactly the same blues, but that's okay. And this doesn't have a lot of interest up there, but what if we stuck this hot air balloon up there? and what could go nicely with the hot air balloon. We do have this hat. That might be too much. We have that. We have a couple hot air balloons. We have this balloon and fireworks. Let's do that. Okay, so we're going to glue, but we also need to distress the edges. So all of our layers will pop. I'd like to use more book pages, but my problem with book pages is that you have to worry about what they say. And to try to find books that you don't mind the words being in your project, I'm going to tone this down just a bit so it matches more the other one. Okay. So I'm having a little bit of a challenge to do that, and I don't have old books, and people use a lot of stuff from other languages, but to you it's meaningless, just an old book in a foreign language. But what does it say? You know, somebody can read that, and maybe you're saying something inappropriate, offensive, or just strange. So one thing to consider. That maybe is me being overly worried. I don't know. Thank you for coming along today and crafting with me. I think we're going to be able to sew these red, white, and blue journals together before long. At least I'm hoping that will be true. And then we can see if we have enough ephemera and make the last of it if we don't. Let's see, let's glue this one first, and then we'll have a little more room to work. Now I could have used longer pieces of paper underneath, in which I then would have had like this sticking up, which is a nice look, but I was just conserving my paper. And I think it kind of looks nice with the little tab sticking up here too. This one is a different digital. Don't know if I have that handy. I'll see. I see if I can get it handy and put it in the notes. Okay, once again, this is two things, so I'm gonna want to add something in there, but I don't know what at this moment. I do have these words. Oh, how about celebrate? We'll put brave in our bucket here, because this looks like celebrating. There we go. Now we have a third thing. Human eyes just like to see things in threes. Okay. Here's this one. Got a little bit of glue off the edge here. And then this will look nice with a something tucked under it, you know, and this is a belly band, and this would like go under. That's quite a big folder I have there. So that's 2 done. Is that 2 done or 3? That's 3. So we finish these 2 here. We'll have 5. adjust the edge here. See, if you just had flimsy copy paper, it would be harder to hold up pushing something in and out all the time. But because we have this sturdier piece to go with it, it helps strengthen it. You still have to be careful of the edges. Like I said, we could put cardstock or more paper, book page, or something behind. I have a whole bunch of activity pages that I thought would be easier to put into books, but some of them just really aren't. I'm going to start using them as a stiffener behind stuff like this. That would be a good way to use them up. Put them to good use. So I could cut something and put it behind these if I decide before I stick them in the books. Okay, there's that one, our little star, and our little bow. I like that these 5 red, white, and blue journals they're all patriotic, red, white, and blue, but they're also all unique. They all have their own personality. I think that's nice because the people that are going to be using them are going to all have their own personalities. Let's see, center that a little bit. So just by edging that, see, it stands out from the background nicely. Kind of sticking to our glue page. Okay, we'll put this ribbon medallion. Come on, off my glue page. We need to start using the other end of it. Put this up here, kind of covering that up. It blends in a little bit, but it also stands out enough that you can see they're separate pieces and makes them look kind of collaged. I think I was putting this in this white space and in this star. And I kind of have them equally spaced sort of through there. I think that's a nice belly band. And then we have this one, these 3 pieces. This is a good mass make because it doesn't take that long to do. You just get yourself some paper handy to collage. Maybe these are already painted or already stuck to napkins that you did another day. And then you're ready to go to put things together. I think my pad is getting a little dry. I might have to re-moisten it. Put her there. Third one somewhere. Little bow here. I like that these bows are they're all stars and stripes, red, white, and blue, but they're all different. A little bit of different sizes, different prints. The variety is really nice. Now that one sticks out a little bit, but I think that adds to the character of the design. This is a little flag banner type shape. Okay. These kind of things will be nice on journal cards as well. Now I'm going to put this down at the bottom because I like it hanging down into the area that's lower. We'll put this one up at the top. little bit like that. And then we'll put her in between. So there's that one, a little skinnier, a little different. So let's collage one, see how that works. What if we take another paper that we haven't used? Let's just take these and I wonder if I can get them in my paper trimmer. Probably need to take off my safety guard. And I'm thinking get them approximately straightened out here. Well, maybe about that much. And if they're not perfectly straight, that's okay. Now if we slide this up and you use your finger to make sure the paper is lined up with the blade, put this paper back over there, and you can continue your cut. We'll see if that's enough pieces. If not, we'll cut some more. Okay, let's turn this around. And we want to keep it skinny. Let's just put some glue on here. We'll just do half for the moment. There is like a weakened spot on here on some of these. I'm not sure why. We'll overlap the edge just a little. Let's see, that's another stripe, so we'll do something a little different. We could tear the edges if we put them out enough. Let's see, did I just do 4? I guess I did 4. Did I get up far enough for that? I did. Okay, I did, oops, lose my guard here. I didn't put them up off the edge enough to be able to tear the edges, but that's an idea for the future. So we tear these off. Cut them off. If you get the scissors lined up, then you usually can cut it pretty straight. Oops. So it's looking like that. Now we'll go up here, go up the rest of the way. Let's put these in a different order. Maybe this one. And I don't know if I really want this pink one, so let's trim that off for our pink one. Just use the more blue and white. Put this on here and put a little bit of this flower and star. Okay, just a little bit more. See, I didn't have to cut the pieces to the right width. I just had to stick them on and then cut them off. Okay, and then up at this end, let's use the flower. Even though it's the same paper, you can't really tell. Okay, we'll snip that off, trim the end. So there we go. And we could just use it just as it is, or we can add something. Actually, she would look nice on there. I don't know if we have one of those already cut out somewhere. We should have, but I don't know where. I'm just leaning back here, fussy cutting, trying to be quick. Well, I think to save time, I'm not going to finish fussy cutting it. I think I'm going to leave it just as it is, because I kind of like it just plain as well. But see, you could put her on there as well. But let's just leave that one plain. I think that's nice. And let's do one of these. I have some fall things, but where are they? Just so we have something different real quick. Here's a folder with some fall stuff. Oops. Those are not fussy cuts though. Well, as a different idea, what if we put some lace on here, and then later we'll find an image or something, or maybe I have a butterfly or something handy. Let's put it all the way to the middle so it's on the sturdy part as much as possible. This I cut off to make the doilies the right size to go in the red, white, and blue journals. This one has a longer point sticking out. That's kind of interesting. Oops. Come on. Give it a good push. So this one looks like this. And we do have some yellow stars, but they're not the right shade of color. Let's see. Do you have some stickers and things handy? I also have these dots. Oh, I have lots of red, white, and blue things down here. I didn't think to do these, so I don't have them handy. That was a mistake. Well, I have a paper. If we put, oh, I know, we have some things up here. These are newsprint images that are stamped on. Let's look in this one. Something that would look nice with that blue. Blue flower, and then over here do these flowers, or we could do dragonflies, or we could do feathers. Don't think I like that as much. I think maybe I like the feathers. Come on, feather. I know there's another one of you in here. There's another one. Okay. I made a lot of these, but I didn't get a chance to use much of any of them yet. Partly it's having stuff accessible where you can get at it. Okay, let's go around these. I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave these rectangular. Kind of wondered whether I should tear them out more, but I'm gonna go with them sort of like a label rectangle-y. They have a little bit of the blue stamp around the edge, and then I'm adding this distress. A lot of my stamps I've either had for years or I've found them at thrift stores. Sometimes I buy a bag of stamps at the thrift store and take out the few that I want and then just send the bag back to the thrift store as a donation, because I don't see any reason to keep the ones I don't want. But one thing I do is I get out several pieces of paper and I use them and I stamp several times with the stamps so that I have images to cut out, and then I give them back, wipe them off and give them back. And that way I've at least, you know, benefited from some of the stamp, unless I really don't like them, and then I don't. But no reason to keep things you just don't need. So now there's an interesting belly band with a little bit of doily scrap, some stamp, distressed edge with rubber stamps on newsprint. And this was a napkin. So there we have it for today. Thank you for joining me. This is Peggy from the Pearl Forest. And I know that a lot of my videos are 45 minutes to an hour. And if that's too much for you, you can watch it in parts, or you can fast forward it. If somebody wants me to help you know how to do that, in case you don't know how, just let me know in the comments and I'd be glad to share that. You also can pick and choose what you do want to see. Hopefully you're finding entertainment and educational purposes, and let me know any comments you have that would be helpful. But here's the ones we made. This is a plain collaged one, just a skinny one. Here's the one with, and I don't know which way you're gonna see this. I haven't figured all that out yet, but this is kind of skinny with just a little bit of paper and our digitals. This has the paper behind it, the napkin with the hydrangeas, and some digitals. This has a wider edge, painted one with several kinds of digitals, and some more paper with digitals and a painted strip. Paper, painted strip, and digitals. And this is a napkin covered one as well with a little bit of doily scraps, some stamps on newsprint. So those are the ones we have. Our no, I don't have the name of that other one. I'll have to look it up. But thank you for joining me. This is Peggy from the Pearl Forest. Have a great day.